There are many people who have fought what was right and fought hard. There are many people who said, this is not right in the sight of God, and I don't care if it's going to kill me. And they stood in the face of injustice and said, no! I'm not going to let this happen. I'm just passionate about this subject. I'm sorry if I'm yelling. But I really believe that every single person here has a passion God's given you. And you see injustice, and you see something's wrong, and something inside of you says, no! But it doesn't come out of your mouth. It stays in there. Tonight, I believe God wants to loose every tongue in this place. That you, when you see injustice happen, when you see something wrong happen to somebody else, that's injustice. Injustice is when something is happening over here and it's not right. That's injustice. You will stand up with your God-given authority, and instead of saying no on the inside, shrinking back and walking away, you will say, no! It's not right. The world would be a better place if every single one of us opened our mouth and said no to injustice. There's 21 of us here tonight. Imagine what a ruckus it would cause in Taupo if every single one of us stood up and said no to injustice. Imagine the ruckus. Imagine the power. As Christians, we serve a God who came to set the captives free. It says in the Bible that He came to set the captives free, to release the bondage that people had around their lives. You know, but He's not here now. His Spirit's here, and we are His hands and feet and His voice. What does that mean? We, as Christians, if you're a Christian in this place, you are to speak out against injustice, just like Jesus did. You know, we should cry out for the ones who have no voice. We should cry out against the 52 million babies that are murdered each year by abortion. 18,000 in New Zealand alone every year. Size of Taupo wiped out. If you're here, you're lucky. 1 out of every 4 babies in New Zealand are aborted. Murdered. We should stand up against the sweatshops in China where people are treated like animals to give us cheap clothing. They don't have a voice, they don't have a choice. We should cry out about human trafficking that still exists today. People who live in fear because they might be just shipped off to another country to work cheaply somewhere else. For the women in third world countries who have to sell themselves to prostitution just to feed their family. They've got no other work alternative. Everything's too low paying. And who's going to speak out about the injustice of war and starvation that it causes? There's millions and millions and millions of people who just have no hope because they think no one's coming. We've got so good here. And who's going to speak out about the injustice done in our community? About the people who live in fear because their father is a drunk and an alcoholic and come home and smashes over their mum, or they're in families that are just broken. That's an injustice. God cries over that just as much as He does anyone else that's in a broken place. We are the voice. But I want to encourage you here. See, we look at the people in the Bible sometimes and we see them as like superheroes, you know, like they couldn't have done nothing wrong. And who here has ever heard of Moses, yeah? He is like the dude of the Old Testament, apart from Nehemiah. But Moses was responsible for writing quite a few books in the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, and all the rest of it, okay? And this guy looked like he had it all together, didn't he? I mean, he even went up to the mountain, heard from God. God gave him the 10 Commandments. I mean, he had a good time with God. This guy was the man. But I want to tell you, he was human just like all of us. If Moses was alive today, I believe he would have been the smooth criminal, the smooth talker. Because he had an excuse for everything, but I'll tell you why. There's a story in the Bible where God commissioned Moses to go and set free the Jews. If you remember the story, a whole heap of Jews were in Egypt suffering under Pharaoh to build all the cities and do all the crops and stuff. About 3 million Jews were under bondage. And one day, while minding his own business, looking after the sheep, his father-in-law's sheep somewhere out in the desert, God showed up. Now, not in flesh and blood, but with a bush. A bush. A plant in the middle of the desert. And it started, this bush, she was just walking past it and started going on fire. Now, first of all, that would give me a bit of a fright. What about you guys, yeah? And then something even strange happened. That bush wouldn't burn up. It just kept on burning. So Moses thought, I'll go have a look. Me, I'm going to be out here, bro. Weird. But no, Moses went over and had a look. And then something even more stranger happened. That bush started talking. Whoa, they didn't have LSD back then, brother. I tell you what, you can't say what was he on. You know, Moses thought, I'd go over there and have a look. What a strange sight. And the bush started talking. Man. And the bush said this, Moses, Moses. Oh, the bush knew his name. Oh no. And Moses said, I am here. I don't think he would have said, I am here like that. I think he would have said, I'm here. In the bush. And the bush said, don't come any closer. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. And then the bush said this, I am the God of your father, and God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And at this, Moses fell on his face because he was so afraid to look at God. And the Lord said this, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them cry out because of the slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians and bring them out of the land into a good spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now the cry of the Israelites have reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. You see, years and years and years back, Moses actually lived in that environment. He saw the oppression. He saw the Hebrew people, the Jews, his kind, same race, getting beaten over and murdered and raped and all the other stuff when oppression happens. Injustice. And at this point, I bet Moses was like, yeah, God, you go get them. You've seen that happening. Now you're going to go free them. Yeah. But then God says something else. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. That statement from God must have felt like a frozen dead fish being slapped over his face. Because God said, I'm coming down, I've seen the oppression, and he would have been like, yeah, go God, and all of a sudden, now you go. And that's the thought of that. Pharaoh was the superpower of the day. He was the big man. You know, God's into wasting superpowers. You know that? God's into wasting people that oppress people. Usually the superpowers. They usually abuse their superpower. We had nothing to fear.